Rwanda versus Kenya. When you hear of Rwanda, the first thing that comes to mind is its breathtaking scenery. It is no secret that for decades now, Rwanda, located in East Central Africa, is famed as Le Pays des Mille Collines, which translates to Land of a Thousand Hills. Its beautiful capital, Kigali, features the scenic views of the Rugangwa River. Rwanda is no doubt beautiful, but one other country that is also as beautiful is Kenya. The East African country is also famed for its scenic landscapes and vast wildlife reserves. Kenya boasts of the Big Five and the Great Wildebeest Migration and is also known for its world record-breaking athletes, its rich biodiversity, and great safari destinations. Now that we've met both countries, in this video we'll do a comparison of Rwanda versus Kenya in order to help you decide which of them you'd love to visit. We'll be starting off with the geography. The size of a country's surface area is an essential metric, since it might be appealing to live in large cities or countries, because a greater region may provide more possibilities for residents and visitors. Kenya's total surface area is 580,367 square kilometers, while that of Rwanda is 26,338 square kilometers. Agricultural lands, forested lands, and areas inhabited by inhabitants of the country make up this total area. Let's take a look at how they are distributed. A very important tool that adds up a nation's GDP and overall development is agriculture. The percentage of land dedicated to agricultural use, including arable land, permanent crops and permanent pasture, is 48.1% in Kenya and 74.5% in Rwanda. This means that Rwanda's GDP from the agricultural sector is higher than that of Kenya, which implies that agriculture has a very great role to play in Rwanda. Forest also plays a part in the country's landscape and overall ecosystem. The percentage of land covered by forest has a key role in removing pollutants and cleansing the air, and the percentage of Kenya's surface area covered by forest is 6.1%, while the percentage of Rwanda's surface area covered by forest is 18%. This means you'll breathe fresher air in Rwanda than in Kenya. Next on the list is demographics. The population of a country is the nation's and people's beating heart. Because of their huge economies, populous cities or countries frequently have more job prospects. Big cities are major cultural centers and research hubs, and they attract companies and economic investment. Kenya has a population of 49.36 million people, and Rwanda has a population of 12.37 million. This population is unevenly distributed, which implies that some parts of the country will have more people and some other parts less, and this is what is referred to as population density. The population density indicates how crowded or dispersed the population is. Overcrowding can occur in cities or countries with high population densities, which can be an issue if infrastructure is lacking. The population density of Kenya is 78 people per kilometer square, while that of Rwanda is 470 people per kilometer square. The annual rise or decline in population is reflected in the average population growth rate. The world population is now rising at the rate of about 107% every year. The faster the economy grows, the more dynamic society becomes. Annual population growth rate in Kenya is 1.57%, while that of Rwanda is 2.3%. The average life expectancy at birth is the number of years that the population of a country is expected to live. This metric reflects in the overall quality of life. The life expectancy from birth in Kenya is 64.6 years, while that of Rwanda is 64.5 years. Next, we'll be looking at economy. The first thing we'll be looking at here is the standard value-added tax rate for Rwanda, which is 18%, and that of Kenya is 16%. Another great influence on economy is the GDP, which reflects the value and productivity of an economy and measures the market value of all the final goods and services produced annually. In order to reflect the differences in the cost of living and inflation rates, we'll be showing the GDP at purchasing power parity. GDP at PPP of Kenya is $190.97 billion, and that of Rwanda is $30.07 billion. Another factor that affects economy is public debt, also known as government debt or national debt. It refers to the sum of all government borrowings owed to lenders within the country. Public debt in Kenya is 54.2% of GDP, and Rwanda is 40.5% of GDP. A low unemployment rate means more job opportunities and increased economic growth. Kenya's unemployment rate is at 40%, while Rwanda's unemployment rate is very low at 2.7%, implying there's a chance for everyone to get a job in Rwanda. Education also plays a key role in economy, which brings us to education expenditure, which is the entire amount of money spent on education by the government. Direct spending on schools, university, and other forms of educational institutions, as well as educational-related public subsidies, are all included in public education spending. It amounts to 5.2% of GDP in Kenya, while in Rwanda, it amounts to 3.2%. Next on the list is infrastructure. A comparison like this one can be done without looking at infrastructure, which involves improvement of the quality of various components of infrastructure, such as roads, power, ICT, water, and sanitation. The road network and transportation means matter, as they serve as a means to transport the agricultural produce. Roadways in Rwanda comprise 4,700 kilometers. For the most part, the primary roads are well maintained. But feeder roads have deteriorated due to the war, excessive loads by heavy-duty trucks, and a 1997 flood. Currently, though the World Bank is providing financing for road rehabilitation and new construction in certain parts of the country, Rwanda lacks a railroad system, although it is linked to the Ugandan-Kenya railroad system by road. Since Rwanda is landlocked, most of its international trade is transported through the Kenyan port of Mombasa. Rwanda has several airports, but the main international airport is in Rwanda's capital, Kigali. Kenya's physical infrastructure is relatively well developed, with an extensive road and railway network, a modern deep-sea port at Mombasa, capable of handling bulk and other containerized cargo, a growing liberalized energy sector, and digital telecommunication networks. As a result, Kenya continues to grow as an East and Central African financial, other services, and transportation hub. The presence and number of airports shows a good connection of city with different international destinations and its internal accessibility. Kenya has 197 airports, while Rwanda has 7 airports. Needless to say, Kenya has better international connectivity. Electrification also plays a very significant role in an economy, so we shouldn't even miss such a huge point like this one. Electrification rate is the share of population with access to electricity in both rural and urban environments. In Kenya, this amounts to 56%, while in Rwanda, it is 43%. Quality of life. Now it's time to talk about health and quality of life, starting off with obesity. A person who is obese has a body mass index of 30 or higher. Obesity is a public health issue that raises the chance of developing chronic diseases and even possible death. The percentage of adults considered obese in Kenya is 7.1%, and the percentage of adults considered obese in Rwanda is 5.8%. The percentage of Kenya's population living below the poverty line, as reported by official statistics, is 36.1%, and that of Rwanda is 39.1%. Also, the percentage of Kenya's population with access to improved drinking water sources, such as piped water or protected wells, is 63.2%, while that of Rwanda is 76.1%. According to the World Health Organization, there should be more than 2.3 health workers per 1,000 people in order to cover the primary healthcare needs of these people. Kenya has about 0.2 physicians per thousand, and Rwanda has 0.13 physicians per thousand, which is extremely low in both countries. The amount of years that youngsters are expected to complete their education is referred to as school life expectancy. Primary to tertiary education is included in this school life expectancy. Kenya has a 16-year school life expectancy, while Rwanda has an 11-year school life expectancy. To finalize this, both Rwanda and Kenya have scenic views and beautiful landscapes that make them beautiful in their own ways. In general, both Kenya and Rwanda are excellent countries with robust economies. Rwanda, on the other hand, is a smaller country that has taken a short time to build its economy and is already competing with the big guys in the game. But none of this should be taken as a slight towards Kenya, which remains a significant force on the continent. But what we really want to know is your opinion. Is Rwanda a better option than Kenya? Please let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you do not miss out on any of our future videos. And congratulations, because if you clicked on subscribe, you are now a Displorer.